Okay, hi. So how did you first meet Earnie Miles?
Well, when I was in high school, he was teaching math, and I was, I was in one of his classes.
Okay, and so how would you describe him as a math teacher?
Well, from what I've seen and after him, he was the best as far as I'm concerned.
And tell me about the math competition.
Oh, we had a competition where the schools in our district, I think it was 8 or 10 schools, and each year we'd compete against those in different categories like math and science and other things. And from there we would go to the state rally, which would be down in Baton Rouge at Southern University, compete statewide. And what we did, so I went to the district and eligible one, along with about 4 or 5 others, and I think we got 5 first place.
And that's remarkable.
It is, yes ma'am, it certainly is.
And really, it also kind of explained during that time, this was a segregated school system, so it wasn't easy for you to even be in school at this time, let alone go to competitions.
That is very correct, and I think in most cases, I can't recall whether we used secondhand books. The white kids had the books before we did, and we'd get them after they were done with them, so we were never on par. Plus the fact, but Doc Miles, he was taking some courses at the University of Detroit, and he would use those college, those textbooks to teach us how to, so we were kind of advanced in that respect.
Wow. And that really says a lot about Doc, that while he was teaching the students, that during the summers he would go and enroll in courses at universities to try to help his students.
Yes, ma'am. He certainly would, and it was always to go to his class. Like we always looked forward because it was a competition thing in his class, and there was no bull in his class. You came in there, you did your work, and unlike a lot of classes where he's asked the rule, but he didn't play, and I'm happy about that.
And so
we always wanted to know who could sit on, who was always on the front row, and who could get their hand up first. It was very competitive.
But did you really get the feeling that he truly, really cared about each one of his students?
Oh, yes, indeed, he did. Yes, he did. He really cared. Even after we graduated, and I followed Doc all the way up to Grambling, and so when he went up there, a lot of times when he'd come up here, when Grambling football would come to Detroit, he would always call me, and I'd be in the press booth with him, or even down in the Superdome for Grambling Southern and different places down on the floor at Grambling and the football stadium, and we kept in contact for all these 50-some years.
So would you say that he really kind of took you under his wing even after you were a student?
Yes, he did, and actually he's the reason I'm here in Michigan. I say it, but yeah, I was down in Winfield, and we were only in extra revenue jobs, and I was just there milling around, and he told me I was kidding myself, boys. They told me I need to get out of there, and I did, and I haven't looked back as far as everything has worked out super good since then.
And so he really encouraged you to go beyond your boundaries and get out of Louisiana and really just pursue.
Well, he didn't mean to get it, but I could have done better. He told me then, being there in Winfield, doing nothing versus, I was capable of doing better, and I did.
Wow. And so.
Yeah, he's been a mentor, ever since, we met, ever since we were in high school. That's been over 50 years.
Wow. And you have had a relationship with him over all these years.
Yes, ma'am, I certainly have.
And so are you familiar with his gospel show?
Yes, I am, and I've got copies of a lot of his programs, and time I'm home, which is Winfield, I've always caught his shows anywhere, and, you know, within range of KNOE. I've always made sure that we catch his show on Sunday morning.
Very nice. And so what would you like to say to Earnie at this time as he just turned 87? He's approached 35 years with his show. Would you like to say any words to Earnie?
Yes, ma'am, I sure would. I'd like to tell him thank you very much for everything, and I love him, and always will. And I can appreciate everything he's done for me, and thanks.
Oh, that's so sweet. It's amazing that I've talked to so many people that have been touched by Earnie Miles. Would you say that he's an extraordinary human being?
Well, yes, he is. He's over and beyond, over and above. He's over and beyond anything you could imagine. And he's done all this, you know, he pulled himself up out of bootstraps as well.
Absolutely.
He went from a English teacher to a math teacher to a photographer to a public and all those in KNOE. He did it on his own strength and did it his way, I should say, as well.
Absolutely. He's definitely a self-made man, and not to mention doing this in the South, which I think as an African American is even triple, quadruple harder than the average person.
Yes, ma'am, it has been. And sometimes, like I'm thinking now, and I'm talking to you about it, it kind of brings tears to my eyes, and I'm sorry about that. I get kind of broken up when I really go back and think about what we went through.
Yeah.
But, you know, it is what it is, and things are a lot better now.
Right, and I think there's so many people nowadays that don't realize what so many people went through in the South. I don't think that they've even touched on what so many people have gone through.
No, they haven't, and those things are, that we did it, and we did what we have to do, and we survived it, and it's sad to think about it, but we come a long ways.
Well, it's success stories. It's
Yes.
success stories and survivor stories.
Yes, ma'am, it is, Jennifer. Yeah, so I just can appreciate Miles being there to, you know, give us the guidance and the help to, you know, to move forward. A lot of them kids did a lot of well. We were all poor in a sense, but a lot of the kids that we went to school with and went to his classes did real well. You know, they attended college. I ended up going in the Air Force, and I spent my time in there because we couldn't afford to go to college, and that was a good move as well.
Got it. Well, thank you so much for your time, and I'm sorry that it took me so long to get back to you, but I was not going to forget you, and I'm so glad that you shared your story and your words for this tribute special, because I know that Earnie will really appreciate it.
And I thank you so much for including me.
Well, you know, it's interesting. Ernie was saying how he just felt that he wasn't a popular teacher. He just kept telling me I wasn't very popular, but yet I've talked to so many students like yourself and John Samuel that were in his class that have that just say the world and owe so much to him, and just so grateful that they've been a part of his life, and that he's been mentors to so many people.
Yeah, it wasn't like, I guess the reason he say people didn't like, but I don't know about that. But one thing was true, he didn't give you anything. You earned everything that you got in this class.
And he I guess he taught you how to work hard for something, you know?
He sure did, and I can really appreciate it.
Yeah, I admire him very much. Well, thank you so...
Thank you for that, yes.
Yes. Well, thank you, and I will be sure that once we've got this on DVD, I'll send you a copy so that you have a copy of it.
Okay, then thank you so very much, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Okay, you have a good rest of your day.
You too. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.